Almost every Arsenal player inside the Brighton penalty area. It's curled in towards the near post, and Codina flicks it over the bar. And that is the final whistle, which means the wait is over for Andre Eglerts and co. And there will be fireworks in Manchester tonight. A draw here is enough to confirm that Manchester City are the Barclays Women's Super League champions for the first time in 10 years. The title race is over now before the final day, and City, I'm sure, will be raising a glass to Brighton to thank them for it. The Seagulls were excellent tonight. They took the lead through Tsunoda. Frida Morgan pulled one back, but it wasn't enough for Arsenal. As it finishes here, Brighton 1, Arsenal 1. Well, Nia Jones, plenty to discuss during that game, but firstly, let's start here with Brighton's performance, because we shouldn't overlook that in the grand scheme of things.
No, absolutely not, and they might go away from this one disappointed that they didn't come out with 3 points, given the level of performance they put out, particularly in the first half. They were dominant, they were tidy in possession, they were brave in the way that they built from the back, they were causing Arsenal's backline all sorts of problems with their movement. And if you looked at the changes they made to their starting lineup, you would have been forgiven for thinking that Arsenal still, even with a slight hangover from the Champions League, had too much quality. But the energy that Brighton showed really gave them a foothold in the game, and they absolutely deserved that point tonight.
It was always going to be a big ask for Arsenal to close the mighty gap that Manchester City had established at the top of the league table, but it's a particularly gutting result following the performance at the weekend as well.
Yeah.
Well, Brighton really came out here with a point to prove, didn't they? Early on, testing Daphne van Domselaar from close range through Tvedten.
And showed their intent, even in the opening minute. The amount of bodies that were forward from them, shot on target in the first couple of minutes from Tvedten.
Macho then flicking over the bar from close range. Frida Morgan then threatens down the other end, galloping forward, but unable to get the better of Nadozi from range.
Yes, the first time that we saw Morgan really get on the ball in that area, just in front of the Brighton backline.
And then Alessia Russo decided to line one up as well. A similar distance, similar result in that she was unable to find the back of the net. Then this was the telling moments in the first half. Arsenal failing to clear from a free kick. And Fuka Tsunoda, the player of the match today, rattling that one in.
Yeah, I just love how quickly she is to actually react to this and bring it down expertly. The deflection off the back of Vubben Moy just takes it slightly away from Van Domselaar, but credit to Tsunoda, who was excellent.
And then Arsenal came roaring forward in the second half. They started so quickly after the break. Bit of added impetus, an injection of pace down that right-hand side, and Russo should have done better. You would expect her to do better there. But again, the Gunners really exploiting those wide areas in the second half. Hines found forward, and it required an excellent stop by Nadozi to tip that one over.
Yeah, she had another good afternoon, didn't she, Nadozi? Had to be equal to this one from Ford, because she gets plenty of power behind the shot.
Arsenal were continuing to up the pressure here. When Morgan went through, there was a huge shout for a penalty from those Arsenal fans behind the Brighton goal.
Yeah, she just gets the wrong side here, Rule. And there's not loads of contact, but there's absolutely enough to take out that standing leg of Morgan.
Jones didn't give anything there. And Arsenal didn't waste any time coming forward again. Russo to Morgan, and Morgan finding the bottom corner to level.
Yeah, it's just brilliant forward play in the first instance from Rousseau on the turn. So dangerous. She's not benefiting from a through ball. She's providing one for a teammate. It's a terrific finish from Mornham.
Brighton weren't, though, content with holding Arsenal for a draw. Rule breaking through again. Bex Rayner on the turn, denied by the legs of Van Domselaar.
Yeah, such intricate play from Brighton. And this is why they've been entertaining to watch all season, but particularly tonight.
Arsenal beginning to throw the kitchen sink at it. And this ball coming in here from Beth Mead, met at the near post by Rousseau. It was always going to be a tough ask from there. So, Nia Jones, where does that leave Arsenal?
Well, it's looking at their league overall. You know, they lost one game, but I think where they've been undone, that's what a lot of their fans have said they've been frustrated by, is they've drawn too many matches where they have had a lot of the ball. They've put some good passages of play together. They've got quality and abundance on the pitch and on the bench as well, but haven't turned those draws into wins when other teams like City and Chelsea maybe have got over the line. And congratulations must go to Manchester City, who have been overall the best team all season long, the most consistent team, the most unpredictable team. And bit of a transition period for Sleggers and her team. We've heard some rumours of some big stars possibly leaving this summer, but they've still got plenty to build on. They'll be disappointed, of course, a club like Arsenal to finish any season without any silverware, but I think tonight credit has to go to Brighton.
Well, of course, there is no time for Arsenal to reflect on this one for too long, because they seem to be straight back in league action again. The only BWSL game taking place this weekend is away to Aston Villa Park on Saturday. That's a midday kickoff, as they hope to replicate West Ham United's win there on Monday. So it does mean that Manchester City to end this campaign as champions. Quite how far ahead they'll finish ahead of the chasing pack remains to be seen. Arsenal, of course, still with 3 games to play. Brighton and Hove Albion, though, are just 2 points shy of their best ever points tally now. A win on the final day against Tottenham Hotspur would confirm that. Let's get some more reaction from the grounds.
Congratulations, another very, very good Brighton performance. How pleased are you all as a side with that performance and that result?
I was running towards the ball, that's it, and just shoot. I'm lucky.
And I'm happy.
And I'm happy.
Caitlin, it was another magnificent display. You have had such a huge say in this title race at the end of the season, but let's focus on yourselves first. How proud are you of what the players put in again out there tonight?
Yeah, of course, unbelievably. I think it's not easy to do, especially when you put a bit of a target on your back and people kind of know what we've built up and what's coming for them when we play against them. But just proud of this team and the effort that they put in each time, and yeah, we're reaping the rewards of the hard work that we've been doing all season.
7 changes before the game. Obviously, Dario talking about the FA Cup semi-final coming up, but it seemed like as a team, everybody just went out there with almost something to prove that so many changes had been made, but you were still going to play the Brighton way, and you did that.
Yeah, of course. I think, look, it's difficult. I've been there myself when you're a sub, and when you're given an opportunity, you need to stand up and be counted and prove that when you're called upon, you can do your job. And credit to girls like Hookah that wait for their moment and put their name in lights at the end.
You have ended Arsenal's title hopes. Manchester City are now crowned WSL champions. As players, when you come up against a side that's fighting for so much, does it give you that little bit of extra edge? You almost have that extra desire to be party poopers, as it were?
I mean, that'll be some people's motivation, but I think at the end of the day, 3 points or any points that you get on the board, it mean the same weight, and ultimately we keep an eye on ourselves and we want that 6th place, and that's our main motivation, is to gain as many points to keep us in that position.
And possibly the club record WSL total is still on now with this, but first, Fuka, you have a huge FA Cup semi-final. at the weekend. How much confidence does another performance like this give you going into that huge game?
We can win.
Your questions are very long.
That is very fair. That is very fair. And you can win. That's the main message to take away. Well, Fuka, congratulations. Caitlin, would you like to do the honours?
Let's get it.
Well done. Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you.
Well, she's certainly someone who has done all of her talking on the pitch today. Magnificent performance by Fuka Tsunoda. For Arsenal now, well, they need to dust themselves back off. Their unbeaten run in this competition has come to an end after 13 games. Brighton extend theirs to 6. They are heading into the Women's FA Cup semi-final in great form. That's it from us here, so good night. Thank you very much for tuning in. Full time is Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Arsenal 1.